The people on our doorstep want to hurt us. There's rioting in the streets, for God's sake.
Just know I'm going to do anything in my power to stop you.
Hey, it's Mike here with Pretty Good Gaming. We're here at EGX 2017. I'm at the Occupation booth, and this gentleman here is going to explain what the game is and why it's so fun. I've had a go of it and it's pretty fun so far. So can you tell us who you are?
Yeah, my name is Apostol. I'm the audio designer, also a voice actor on the Occupation.
Okay, wicked. So what is the Occupation?
So it's a first-person narrative adventure game, basically. Set in a fictional 1980s Manchester, and basically you play as a whistleblowing journalist. And if you're familiar with America's The Patriot Act, we have a version of that called the Union Act in the game, where an offshoot of the government are trying to make England great again, that style of thing, and they're doing it very underhandedly, and they're they're closing the borders, people can't come into the country. People who are citizens of the country, they're thrown out if they haven't been citizens for long enough. And it's kind of it's on the verge of being a kind of dystopian society. And as I said, you play a whistleblowing journalist, kind of like Edward Snowden, the day he did what he did. So
in terms of gameplay, I mean, there's some obvious influences for me, having played it, but what are the big inspirations for this? What kind of game is it like?
We're fans of people like Irrational and Arcane Studios,
yeah.
And we really like that idea that the world is real and you're not going from scripted event to scripted event. You're not going through a door and loading in a new scenario and loads of guys with guns come out and then you wave after it. The day will happen whether you do anything or not.
Right.
So if you load it up and walk in and just stand and do nothing, the janitor will come and he'll clean all of the windows and empty the bins.
Yeah.
And when people go, the AIs go and get a cup of coffee, they'll throw it in the bin. The janitor will pass, so that needs emptying, and the AIs will have conversations. And at 3 o'clock they have a meeting with somebody and they need a smoke after that, so they go and buy. It will happen around you.
Yeah, cool. That kind of realistic passage of time, how difficult has that been to kind of execute? Like?
I mean, we're still working with it and doing it at the shows. Obviously it's interesting to see if anyone picks up on that and how they feel about it. But if a meeting is happening at 11:30, somebody might give you a piece of paper at the beginning that says there's a meeting at 11:30. You might miss that, and somebody else might go, oh yeah, I've got to go, David, I've got a meeting at 11:30. And you're thinking, oh, there's a meeting at 11:30. You could just go to that meeting, eavesdrop, or you could go somewhere else. That meeting is going to happen,
yeah,
whether you see it or not. And if you were doing all that and you go to that meeting, there was something else happening that you didn't see. So it's not timed to try and be a hindrance on anyone. It's just trying to show that it's real. That if you go into a room, we're not going, is the player in the room? Yes, they are. Okay, and start meeting.
Yeah.
The meeting's going to happen without you. There'll be things all around the world. The next time you play it, you'll go somewhere else and something different will happen.
Yeah, cool.
So there are multiple ways of using the environment. I know I shouldn't want this, but I kind of hope that people get to the end of the game and go, no, I'm not having that.
Yeah,
No. I'm going to change that. They might do it the first time and think, it's something I did,
Right, so it's non-linear in terms of the ending and the story, then there's multiple endings and stuff like that?
It's so non-linear in the sense that if, like, using the example of standing there and doing nothing again,
yeah,
the end will happen, and if you don't like it, you go, what would have happened if I had have played?
Right.
And if you play, it's not a case of this exotic ending over here and extravagance over here, like going into completely different directions with the storyline.
Yeah.
It's a case of the storyline is this act will get passed today and the country will be affected forever by it.
Right.
Does the act get passed, yes or no? If it does, who did it? If it doesn't, how? And if it didn't and the how and someone's to blame, who's to blame?
Yeah.
So it's not like we're going off in a million directions with endings. It's literally a case of, for an example, perhaps, something bad happens and there needs someone to blame, and you're learning these NPCs and you know their backstories. You might actually start to like them and you have to throw one of them under the bus. So that's the kind of ending we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. So we talked a lot about the game. Can you tell us a bit about who you are as a developer, as a studio, what size the team is, and that kind of thing?
So the team now, actually, we've just taken on a new coder, so we're actually 9 people.
Okay.
That's the biggest the studio's ever been. So we're certainly, we have expanded. Actually, the core team, the original guys, we all met in uni. And we made the game Ether 1. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Yeah, and that was a puzzle game. And I think we all kind of got together and agreed straight away that the company and the games we were making, I don't think will ever be a violent, just blowing people's heads up kind of game.
Yeah.
We want to get people involved in, it sometimes sounds pretentious, but we really don't mean it that way. We want to get people involved in a conversation.
Have you got an idea for a release date? And is there a publisher in place, or are you doing this self-publishing, or how's that working?
We will be releasing the game, yeah. I can't tell you when.
You can't narrow it down any further?
It will be released next year.
Next year?
And we're really hoping it will be released very early next year.
Right, okay, okay. And
that's
the
our
publisher?
Hope. We actually only announced that a couple of days ago. We're now with Humble.
Right.
So
wicked.
Humble are publishing us, and we're super made up to have a publisher now.
It's a good name, I guess, to have attached to the project.
Yeah. They're really great guys as well. You know, it was a no-brainer. So.
Yeah, wicked. And platforms. This is a PC exclusive.
Yeah. So no, it's not. We released Ether on the PS4 and PC, so we're hoping we can do that again with this. We'll absolutely be on PC. We absolutely pushing for PS4 and Xbox too. Hopefully, I can't guarantee those, but if the option's there, we'll absolutely do it.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, man.
Right. Okay.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, dude. Really good interview.
Thanks for that. Yeah, cheers, man.
Charles, what the hell have you done?